Hi, my name's Gerry and I'm a twin troller boat owner. This is part 2 of a 2-part video. In part 1, you saw that Bob from Seminole, Florida found he had some water inside the hull of his boat. He did a number of things to try to figure out where that's coming from. In this video, primarily, we're going to fix that. And Bob has some great ideas how to do that. So follow me, because you might have something similar in your boat. I don't think this is a common problem, but if you do have a similar problem of water inside the hull, you need to watch this. In the description below this video, there are links to most of the items used in many of my videos. They are there so you can locate them in case you are interested. So don't forget to subscribe or give me a thumbs up. Click on the bell, share with your friends, or leave comments and questions below. I went to a marine supply repair store in Largo, and they recommended elastomeric sealant meant for below the water line. Sticks very well to the twin troller plastic. I had to use mineral spirits again to clean up all around the install. Not only did I apply the sealant to the plate shaft and hull, it has pretty decent tolerance with 1-inch shaft and a 1 3/16 inch hull hole. I also ran a bead around the perimeter of the plate and over each bolt head, not to mention between the plate and all the threaded inserts. I also sealed each hole where the weed guard screws to the hull. I still think this was the culprit. I also added stainless steel washers to the motor plate. As you can see, one of the holes in the plate is elongated. Not sure if this was done by design or not. Would be curious to know the factory process of how they mold the hull when placing the 1/4 20 threaded inserts. The elongated hole may be there to overcome a tolerance issue. In any case, a lock washer does not sit well into the larger plate hole. My final test. I am still waiting for my smoke stick to arrive. It is to apply negative air pressure to the pontoon and see if I can find any leaks. I'll let you know how this goes. Bob. Gerry replies, Bob, I have a question I am curious about. The shaft of the trolling motor goes up through the center of the mounting plate. That hole is slightly larger than the shaft of the trolling motor, it appears. What keeps the trolling motor attached to the mounting bracket? Is it just held in place by the butyl sealant, or is there some hardware there also? How difficult was it to separate the old bracket from the hull and from the trolling motor shaft? You did a great job on this, Gerry. Bob replies, Here you go, Gerry. The shaft of the trolling motor goes up through the center of the mounting plate. That hole is slightly larger than the shaft on the trolling motor, it appears, is my question. He answers, yes, but the shaft is welded to the plate on the other side, the water side. My question, what keeps the trolling motor attached to the mounting bracket? His answer, it's welded on the water side. There is also a gusset bracket welded from the shaft to the plate on the forward side. My question, is it just held in place by the black butyl sealant, or is there some hardware there also? His answer, weld and a gusset. See the photo called the plate weld. My question, how difficult was it to separate the old bracket from the hull and from the trolling motor shaft? His answer, shaft to the bracket not removable due to the welds. Pulling the entire motor assembly away from the hull took a bit of rocking back and forth and then steady pull force to break the butyl seal. All in all, not too difficult. Bob. I then replied, Bob, thanks for the information in case I needed to pull the motors myself. Let me know when you have concluded that the leak is fixed and if you are confident of the cause. I will then put it in the list for videos to make in the future. Gerry. Bob replies, Will do, Gerry. I'm not sure I will ever determine the leak as I'm sealing suspect areas as I am putting things back together. I found it interesting that your 5-year-old twin troller does not have the drain hole plugs as mine does. I did learn today that the 2 pontoon holes are not independent. Air and water can pass between the 2 hull sections by way of the transom section. I rigged up my shop vac to one of the drain hole plugs and air pulls into the opposite hull. Once I received my ordered smoke pen, I will run the vacuum again and check over the boat to see if I can find any voids. I will let you know later this week what I find. Thanks, Bob. I then replied, Bob, Frank told me once that only after years of producing twin trollers, he started to hear enough people say they had water inside the hull. Some, he said, had left their boats in the water for years. Like you, that was not the case, but Frank started installing the drains you have on each pontoon so owners could drain the water. My boat was manufactured before they started installing those drains. I hope you found the source of your leak, and I await your report of that. Gerry. Bob replies, Once I get everything resealed, I'll try a vacuum test with my shop vac via the side drain plug to see if there are any other voids. Bob. Bob later replies, Hi Gerry, I have completed my leak test using a smoke pen, as I suspected I cannot locate any breaches in the hull at this time. As I was reattaching the motor plates and weed guards, it makes sense to me that I would not locate any leaks as I sealed each fastener with a below the waterline sealant. My recommendation for anyone experienced water penetrating in the hull of the twin troller would be to seal around the motor plates and the screw holes that retain the weed guards. To help any other twin troller boat owners, if they have the hull side port hole drains, I used a broom thread connection, same size and thread for the drain, see the picture below, and simply drilled a through hole and connected the end to my shop vac. The shop vac provided plenty of vacuum draft, as I noted, by removing the opposite drain plug. It would also be beneficial for Freedom Electric Marine to sell the drain plugs aftermarket for older boats, or even to add another penetration if desired. One last thing, found this great shop vac hack on YouTube to vacuum liquids without getting the shop vac wet or dirty. It was intended for changing lawn mower oil, but worked great on the twin troller water removal. Here is the link, Bob. I then replied, Thanks, Bob, for the thorough research and documentation. It will take me a while to edit this video, but it is important that other twin troller owners see this. Gerry. Later, I asked Bob, I am trying to put a video together on this, but I have a question. You included a photo that had a plastic threaded tip in the end of what appears to be a metal pole. You have an arrow pointing to the end of the black threaded tip with an arrow stating drill. You did not explain what that thing is and what you used it for, or more likely, I just did not understand. Thanks, Gerry. Bob replies, Hi Gerry, good to hear from you. The plastic tipped pole is simply a painter's pole that I cut the threaded end off about 3 inches and drilled a through hole. The tip is now hollow, so I could use my shop vac to suck air out of the side pontoons. The pole tip threads match the boat hole threads perfectly. I inadvertently threw the thing away before I could take a picture, so I just showed you a different pole with the tip still intact. Any mop broom, or painter's pole, they all have the same 3/4 inch thread pattern that will match the boat hull port. I used the negative air pressure to check for hull leaks with a smoke pen. I hope that helps. Bob. My final reply. Bob, that's a great idea. Thanks for the photo. That will certainly help. Gerry. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was the second part of a two-part video, had lots of information in it, and I'm hoping that you learned something. If you haven't subscribed, right in that corner, just push that button. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave some comments if you want. Thanks for watching today. And thanks for supporting my channel by doing that. Bye now.